Video number 238, adding with negative numbers. Let's take a look here. Here's how to think of a negative number compared to a positive number. We have the number 4. We could think of that obviously as positive 4. And therefore, 4 plus signs or 4 protons, perhaps, if we're thinking this in scientific terms. Negative 5, on the other hand, obviously would be 5 electrons. Here is the way I like to teach us to think about the number 0. We're going to think of 0 as being the same number of plus signs as minus signs. In other words, each proton and electron will inverse each other to a neutral charge. So therefore, if you have 2 protons and 2 electrons, you'll have a 0 charge. So that comes in handy here when we take a look at 4 protons plus 5 electrons. Well, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of 0 charges with an extra electron. So therefore, 1 extra electron is negative 1. And it's as simple as that. You don't have to memorize anything. You just think about things logically. Here you have negative 7 plus negative 2. Well, now you have 7 electrons plus 2 more electrons. Well, that's just simply 9 electrons. It's not very difficult for us to do that. So the pattern is simple. If both numbers are negative, then we just take the sum of the negatives, like we just did with negative 7 plus negative 2. And if one number is negative, then we get a 0 and use the extras. Here you get the 0, then you use the 1 extra electron. There are 4 situations, 4 scenarios that will arise when adding positive and negative numbers. You'll have negative 9 plus 9, perhaps. This will obviously be 0, because you'll have the same number of electrons as protons, so therefore 0. 0 charge. Negative 9 plus 11, this is a situation where you have more protons than electrons, so therefore we will have 2 as our solution, positive 2. You'll also have a situation where you have more electrons than protons, so therefore negative 12. And then here you'll have, obviously, adding 2 sets of electrons together, so therefore negative 9. This is also something that will occur when we are taking a look at adding fractions. So if you have 9/10 plus negative 3/5, we are going to use the same strategies that we used before. We're going to get common denominators. Here, same kind of idea. This time you have negative 14 inches plus 4 feet. This is not necessarily a perfect application problem, but nonetheless, I wanted to put one in here for, now obviously this also stresses the idea that in order to add common denominators, you also have to add common units. So that's why these are in tenths, those are in fifths. That's back in the fraction chapter, so please do go back and take a look. Then we also have the temperature is negative 13, and there's going to be a 14 degree wind chill. What will the temperature feel like? A 14 degree below 0 wind chill is what I probably meant to write. But let's just go ahead and put a negative in front of there to assume that that's what we have going on. Here's how we'd work out the first one. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and call this 9/10. We're going to call this 6/10 because just multiply both the top and bottom by a 2. Then we just add 9 plus negative 6 to get 3, so therefore 3/10. Okay, because you have to get common units, therefore you have to get common denominators. Here, obviously, we're going to change the feet to inches, so we get 48 inches plus the negative 14 to get a total of 34 inches. And then in the last one, it didn't print out, but we can just go through it. It's pretty straightforward. What we're going to end up doing here is obviously what? We're going to take the negative 13. We're going to add in that negative wind chill. So therefore we have a negative plus a negative. So therefore even further negative of, it's going to feel like it's negative 27 degrees, or it's going to feel as if it's 27 degrees below 0. All right, so that is adding using negative numbers. We'll see you in the next one.